Outside of the CW shows, Flash is a character that gets an abysmal amount of appreciation and representation to the general public.
I understand that these events can be psychologically scarring.
And it's kind of twisted the narrative that Reverse Flash is the only shining example of a great villain for him.
And don't get us wrong, we love Reverse Flash, but his character has done irreparable damage to the idea of Flash villains, because even when he's decidedly not in a project, his influence is still felt, just like in the Flash movie starring He Who Must Not Be Named, that has Barry go against like a fake garbage version of Reverse Flash.
Yeah, and I also think it's kind of set this weird precedent that all Flash villains, at least the memorable ones, have to have some kind of speed-based power.
Yeah.
It's always like, oh, who's this new person that can just barely outrun Barry or Wally? Guess what? They can no longer be called the fastest man alive until they run even faster.
What did you do? I got faster.
And it betrays a lack of creativity among Flash creators when they're only able to generate stakes in their story by introducing yet another speed-based villain. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm Thomas.
I'm Merlin.
Together we're the Comic Lads, and today we are talking about why Reverse Flash is not Flash's only good villain.
And we want to highlight some underrated villains that people often forget about.
But as always, guys, we want to hear from you in Question of the Week. Who do you think is the most underrated Flash villain? And you're not allowed to say Reverse Flash.
No, for real. And also, before we get into it, guys, if you could leave a like on the video, it helps us out tremendously. And why not activate your inner lad force and hit the subscribe button? Become part of the Speedster Lads. First up on our list, guys, we have a character that has flip-flopped between hero and villain, and this is kind of an honorable mention because he does lean more into the hero category, especially in the last couple decades. We are talking about the Pied Piper.
Pied Piper's just a cool idea. I really like characters that use music somehow in their super-powered arsenal.
Yeah, it is a little bit silly seeing him with like his little flute and shit, but like I kind of love it.
It goes hard though.
Yeah, and especially as like kind of remnant of the Silver Age, I like that they kept his gimmick the same. He has the same kind of goofy outfit. He looks like he's wearing a Halloween costume, and I love that. And there's something very interesting with Flash's rogues. They're unlike any other superhero, I find. The relationship that Flash, specifically Barry Allen, has with his enemies has always fascinated me because it's almost like there's a gray area on if people are really truly evil at heart or not.
Like you said, specifically Barry Allen Flash has always seen past the surface level kind of villainy of his villains and been able to see the potential that they have as people beneath all that.
You're off your meds, aren't you?
I'm better off without him. Take him if I start feeling down.
You know that's not how the medicine works. Tell me where those guys went, and I promise to come see you in the hospital. We'll play darts. Dude, as soon as you finish your drink, turn yourself in.
Got me again, Flash.
Yeah, and a lot of them end up reforming, and you take a look at a beloved show that we all grew up with, you know, Justice League or Justice League Unlimited, and you can just tell by a few sequences in there that the relationship that he has with them is almost like a friendly rivalry. And with Pied Piper, he is a reformed supervillain. He develops a very strong friendship with Wally West Flash during that whole era of the Flash's history. Even to this day, he's teaming up with him and lending a hand whenever he can.
But now getting into our actual top 5, straight up villains now. Our first guy that we're talking about is Captain Boomerang. I've always liked Captain Boomerang when they kind of touch on the fact that he's not just relegated to the Suicide Squad, he is more so a Flash villain, and I like that in some stories he has kind of a like Captain versus Captain rivalry with Captain Cold, and I feel like Captain Boomerang has a chip on his shoulder as kind of like the lamer captain of Flash's rogues gallery.
Well, I mean, you just look at his outfit and you're like, oh my god, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like blue suit with a little boomerang print all over, like...
They also were like, you know, okay, let's make an Australian villain. What should his motif be?
Boomerang.
Like, it was that or kangaroos.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, it might as well be like Steve Irwin in that suit, let's be real. Yeah, I do think Captain Boomerang has a very different personality compared to the other rogues. Like you said, he does have a lot to prove. I like it because he does have kind of an explosive personality compared to the other ones.
He does.
Captain Boomerang is a bit more brash, acts a bit more impulsively, and that can lend itself to developing kind of a fun character to read.
Even if he's kind of the annoying member of the group, he's always going to be the one that challenges whoever's in the leadership role.
He's like a little angry chihuahua trying to like bark up against a husky or something.
Exactly. And superficially, any type of character that has a variety of like trick weapons that all look the same but do different things. I'm thinking of like Green Arrow with trick arrows. Same goes for Captain Boomerang. His arsenal is just sick.
It reminds me of that like Silver Age drawing of Batman's wall of different kinds of batarangs.
Of course.
You know what I mean? But it's just like with boomerangs. Yeah. Next up on our list, guys, at number 4, this character kind of came out of nowhere for me personally, recently at least.
Yeah.
As someone who just finished reading the Jeff Johns 3 omnibus run. Feels weird saying run for a comic book line involving a character that runs. But Top is such a formidable opponent for specifically Wally West during this run, and to me, Top has always been a really goofy-ass looking villain.
My first introduction to him was in the Batman the Brave and the Bold cartoon, where he always gets insta-washed.
It's like a character whose powers are based in like one of those weird spinny tabletops, you know, like we're in Inception or some shit, and he just spins. Like, this is lame. But in the Jeff Johns run, he is so formidable. The way he toys with Wally throughout the entire run, and at some points he even takes reformed villains and implants suggestive thoughts in them into making them into heroes so they gain trust with Wally, just to then take away that trust out of nowhere.
That's so ratty.
So it's like Wally's good close friends and allies suddenly turn on him.
The whole impetus of this video is that Flash villains don't need to be super fast, but I like that the Top is technically super fast, but in a limited way. It's not like he can run as fast as Wally and catch up to him and fight as fast as him, but the fact that he can spin and like generate tornadoes, he has like one small aspect of Wally or Barry's arsenal, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and he's perfected that one aspect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, breaking into our top 3, we're kind of cheating here because this is a speedster, but it's not Reverse Flash. I think you'll find that he's not technically a speedster in the same way as regular speedsters are. We're talking about Zoom.
Some refer to him as the second Reverse Flash. He does borrow basically the exact same costume as Reverse Flash.
We'd be lying if we said he wasn't the second Reverse Flash.
They copy my whole fucking flow! Word for word, bar for bar!
And if I'm being honest with myself and everyone, and I might get destroyed for saying this, I prefer Zoom over Reverse Flash. I know Reverse Flash is the #1 greatest hater in comics,
but like that's not everything, you know?
It's not. And I think Zoom has a particular motivation and backstory that makes him more compelling.
Yeah, he was the profiler on the Keystone Police Department for the Rogues, correct?
Yeah, and for the first, 40 issues or so that Jeff Johns was writing Wally's run, they were like kind of the Batman and Jim Gordon of Keystone City. Working cases together. He was always helping profile different rogues' motives for Wally.
Yeah.
And he actually becomes, in that section of Flash's history, a really strong ally for the Flash.
But as we all know too well, nothing good lasts forever, and eventually their relationship gets strained when Gorilla Grodd attacks and breaks Hunter Zolomon's back.
He goes full bait on him, basically.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, and Hunter Zolomon is not just broken physically, he's broken emotionally and intellectually, and he blames Wally because in his time of need, he asks Wally, well, I know you can use your powers to rewind what has happened. Please help me out. And we all know the repercussions of just the slightest thing changing in the past, and so of course Wally says no. Hunter Zolomon takes it upon his own hands, breaks into the Flash Museum, and tries to use the cosmic treadmill, which is like, what are you doing?
Wait, like in his wheelchair?
Yeah, things go awry, and like you said earlier, a lot of people think that Zoom's powers are based in the Speed Force, like Reverse Flash and other speedsters, but actually the cosmic treadmill malfunctioning time displaces him. His powers are not based in speed, they're based in time displacement, and so the world around him seems as though it's moving extremely, extremely slow, which gives the impression to outsiders that he's moving at extreme speeds.
He localizes time around just his own body and uses that to move faster.
And it's not just his powers that are different from the original Reverse Flash, it's also his motives. Zoom, following this accident and gaining these powers, makes it his mission to make Wally into a better Flash so that this never happens to another person in Flash's life. And everything he does, he's always reiterating, I'm doing this for you to make you into the ultimate Flash. He even takes it to such an extreme that he murders Wally's unborn children just to mess with him that much. So this is a villain that creates extreme psychological damage for Wally. Honestly, great villain and character.
Yeah, no, that's one of the worst things I've ever heard. Next up on our list, we have one of the funniest villains in DC Comics, but also one of the most formidable. We're looking at Gorilla Grodd.
I love that Gorilla Grodd is a gorilla.
He's a straight up gorilla.
He's a telekinetic gorilla. There's nothing else to say. No, Gorilla Grodd.
He's a telekinetic gorilla that can, like, match wits with Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
You know?
And I love that. I love that he's a gorilla. He's the dictator of Gorilla City.
Yes.
And he's just sick. He's a gorilla.
You're looking at Flash villains, and you have the rogues, and you have different type of evil speedsters, and then you have this whole corner of his mythos that's about a race of super intelligent apes that live in an invisible domed city in, like, the savannah. If we're gonna bring the Flash into the DCU at some point, I want a Gorilla City movie.
For sure. He almost sees himself as, like, the superior race.
Yes.
There's kind of like a Planet of the Apes thing going on there.
Definitely.
Where he looks down on humanity, and I like it because he's kind of like a solo working villain in that way.
Definitely. Grodd definitely sees himself as above all of Flash's other rogues. You'll never see him, like, calling up Captain Cold to join him on a caper.
Next up, guys, at number 1, this villain might be in my top 5 favorite villains of all time.
Holy shit.
I'm so dead ass.
We're looking at Captain Cold.
I don't think he has anything too special powers-wise. All of his aura and intrigue comes from who he is as a person and how he handles himself. Captain Cold is extremely calculated.
Yeah.
And he knows not to take risks. I remember there's this one line in Flash Run I was reading where he's like, I make sure amongst the rogues that no one kills any supers.
Yes.
Because that'll bring down the kind of heat that will actually make us cease to exist, basically.
He feels almost like the Vito Corleone godfather of Flash's rogues. He has this quality of level-headedness that no other villains have, and I think he commands respect from the rest of the rogues in the city.
For sure.
And not just respect for him, but respect for themselves as people. Like, they're bad guys, but there's a harsh line that you can't cross, and if you do, like, you'll be on Captain Cold's bad side.
For sure. I mean, there's been sequences where he's interacting with the different rogues and they say something out of line or dishonorable, and he'll just bitch them. And I also think there's a lot of really emotional heart and backstory to his character with the death of his sister.
Yeah.
And he's a character with so much honor that...
Yeah, he's an honorable villain.
Yeah. When a villain falls in the rogues, like the original Captain Boomerang, he hosts a whole ceremony in remembrance of Captain Boomerang, and he has all the different rogues gathered to honor that man's memory. It makes an even playing field when it comes to Wally or Barry's interactions with him.
Absolutely.
Reverse Flash is an amazing villain. There's no disagreement there, but there's so many awesome other rogues that people just deem too goofy or not worth their time.
We need to start giving them the spotlight, especially in non-comic book media.
But guys, those are just our picks. Let us know what villains you think deserve the spotlight in Flash's amazing rogues gallery.
And if you enjoyed the video and you want to hear more of us and see more of us, consider checking out our YouTube/Patreon membership.
On that membership, you get access to a 1 to 2 hour weekly podcast. We actually did a podcast this week with one of our members where we rank by hype all of the upcoming projects superhero related throughout 2026. And when you subscribe, you get access to our Discord,
where you can chat with us any day of the week. And not only that, you also get early access to every single one of our main channel videos.
So if that sounds like a good time to you, click the link in the description below, and we love you.
We love you dearly.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.